Hi, I'm Raymond, and you're listening to Insert Quest here. Today we're doing an Eclipse Phase one-shot. That's our quest for today. This is set during the fall. We've got one of our Patreon backers here with us today, Yodel. Thank you for your contribution monetarily, Yodel.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, this is an Eclipse Phase game set during the fall. And we'll jump right into that in a minute, but let's have our players introduce themselves. And we'll start with Yodel, and then we'll go to Chris, and then Patrick.
All right. So I'm
So
Yodel.
just introduce yourself and the character that you're going to be playing, if you've thought up a name for it.
Shit. I knew I forgot something.
Yeah, I've not gotten so far as to a name, but it is a biochemical arms dealer and manufacturer, I suppose.
You said it's connected to the Korean government. Do you have Korean as your native?
Korean is his native language,
yes.
and then he has Japanese.
So your surname is statistically either Kim or Park, and then Korean names are after that two syllables. I used to live and work in South Korea.
How about Hyoseong?
Yeah, Hyoseong is pretty common. Taesoon, Incheol, Hyunmi for a girl.
I like that. Let's just go Kim.
Kim Taesoon, yeah.
Dr. Kim.
Right.
And I'm Chris. My of Role Playing Exchange, another podcast. Big plug. And I am playing the hacktivist who only goes by Snowden.
Snowden.
Yeah, and he is an illegally detained political prisoner. God damn it.
So he claims.
And I'm Patrick. I'm playing. Let's see. He is.
You're from Brazil because I gave you Portuguese.
Yeah, I have Portuguese and also Japanese, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a thing. There was a lot of immigration out there, so I'm thinking he has some kind of weird post-nationalist fusion name, like I'm trying to think of a good first Japanese name.
Takahashi's a surname, I think.
Takahashi's a surname.
Takizo?
Tanaka?
Yeah, Tanaka Rodriguez.
Tanaka Rodriguez. I'm into it.
Tanaka Rodriguez, he is in prison for the crime of being on the wrong side when the regime changed. He used to be he likes to think of himself as a fascist hunter.
Yeah, that's how you choose to think of yourself.
There is a subject of debate as to whether that is, into how to pass that. Is he a hunter who is a fascist, or is he a person who hunts fascists? And then one day, people he trained kicked in the door and told him that he was now an enemy of the state.
Don't you hate that when your proteges declare you were an enemy of the state?
Ah, that technique when they were kicking the door in was so subpar.
There will be no place for you.
They learn nothing.
There is no place for you in the new regime, Commander Rodriguez.
Traitor.
Brilliant. So, the last things that all of our characters here remember is being taken into a prison medical room at a international prison. They were all taken by a branch of Interpol and arrested. And they have been taken to an international prison, and they have the last thing they all remember is being taken into this medical room with a large MRI-looking apparatus in it, and their heads were placed in it, and devices were attached to their heads, and then they were all injected with a paralytic, and then they woke up in this place. You see red lights glowing around you. There's a lot of loud noise. You hear like the sound of cutting torches, angle grinders. You hear an explosion in the distance, the low rumbling of an explosion far away. It's really hard for you to breathe. This room is really dark. The only illumination seems to be coming from these red lights. And you can hear the clanging of boots on metal grates. A man, you think, steps out of the darkness. Is an old-looking person, maybe in his 50s. He's got some scars on his face. He says to you in, let's see. All right. Who doesn't speak English? Whose character doesn't speak English?
Apparently, I do not.
I do
You
not.
don't? You do
I
not?
do. I speak English, Japanese, and Portuguese.
And Japanese. What does the hacktivist speak?
I speak Japanese and Arabic?
So everyone speaks Japanese.
Indeed.
You see him pick up has like a microphone in his hand, and he says, "This is your parole hearing. We have a need for monster hunters. If you're willing to fight our monsters, these demons, then I am willing to commute your sentence. However, if that sounds too dangerous to you, or like too much work, or you're a coward, we will be leaving you here on this rock as we abandon it. If you are willing to comply, please step forward."
Takahata steps forward. My crime was monster hunting. I don't know why he's Russian. Shit. Post-nationalism is weird, okay?
So Takahashi's up for it.
This was an illegal detainment. I do not recognize your authority. And I step forward.
I don't say anything. I just step forward.
Brilliant. As you all step forward, it is time to make your first checks of the game. Oh, really? That was the worst time for that program to crash. Just as I was about to bring up the freaking alienation check document.
It's int times 3, isn't it?
I think it might be. I just need to check though. Because it'll only take me a second to reopen it. Where the fuck is the Eclipse Phase book? There it is.
It's Psalm times 3.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Psalm times
All right.
3, and then continuity and... No, integration is Psalm times 3. Continuity and alienation are will.
Yes, we're making our integration checks first, actually.
Okay.
So let's do that. So sometimes 3, however, let me grab your modifiers.
Oh boy. That's always a good sign.
Well, I've just rolled, so I either critically succeed or critically fail based on the modifiers you give me. It's all in your hands now.
It is your first time resleeving.
Oh shit,
And-
alienation is int times 3.
It's int times 3? Yeah, but we're
Just
doing
alienation.
we're doing integration first. I have it open. So it's minus 20 to your
Great.
to what you need to get under.
And is that with morph bonus?
Without MILF bonus for integration.
Okay. So I rolled a 33. My base sum is 20. Times 3 is 60. Minus 20 is 40. So that's a crit success.
Brilliant. So
That's
you are integrated. Oh, crit success. No fix. You gain a moxie point
Aha!
on a crit success for integration.
Alright, I have to get
I
a
love being a
25.
robot.
A 25 or under. Good luck. Sir.
Yeah. 37. Nope.
All right. So that's just a regular failure.
Yeah.
Character has some trouble acclimatizing to the new. No, it's acclimating is that word. They suffer a -10 modifier to all physical actions for 2 days.
Plus 1 day per 10 full points of mark of failure. So
I don't
3
think
days.
Really?
I'm not going to live 3 days.
You're not going to live through it. Let's just go with the -10.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it too hard straight off the bat.
Right. So I don't use the morph bonus.
Mm-hmm.
That makes my Psalm 10 times 3 is 30, minus 20 is 10.
You need to get under 10.
And I
Just
rolled
wait a second to close the door.
33.
You rolled a critical failure.
I'm just gonna eat my first Moxie and not crit, because minus 30 on everything from now on is sort of makes this character not do anything.
All right, I'll give you the -10. Brilliant. So you feel like those of you that failed feel like you can't breathe, and your senses feel off. Like your sense of touch feels radically different, and you're not really sure what the fuck happened. Like you were lying down a minute ago, and now you're standing up in a dark room. Now we make alienation checks because you have lost continuity. Alienation checks are int
No.
times.
Alienation is because we don't feel at home in the body mentally.
Yeah.
Oh right, yes. Sorry.
Alienation is
Alienation
looking
is
in the
dysphoria.
window. It's looking in the
Yes.
mirror and going, "That's not my face."
Yes, you guys you guys do realize that these are not your bodies because you look down at your hands and you see steel. And your legs are metallic, and there's like welded armor plates on your chests. And you touch your face and feel metal. So let's roll that alienation, which is int times 3.
Fail. I get a 75 out of 45.
Brilliant.
Do we get any negatives for this? Or
Probably.
great, wonderful.
I will
Oh.
give you a -10 because it's a synthetic morph.
All right,
And a
so I
110
have a
because
1 in
you're-
5 chance of succeeding.
And it is your first time resleeving, so it's -20.
I have a 10% chance of succeeding.
Good luck to you.
13.
So close.
This
I like
is
to imagine
me.
how this looks from the outside. Is like he just puts his hand on his face, and because he's a synth, he doesn't have like proper facial expressions. He just has like a screen, and then just sad face emoji pops up.
Well, you are in kind of anthropomorphic robots, so it's more like you just have a steely, hardened expression. But the eyes frantically twitch. So you failed, Chris,
Yes.
and you also failed, Patrick. Yodel. So -20, you int times
also
3.
failed, despite the fact that I actually had 20 int, which is
All right, everyone failed. Character is uneasy about the new morph. Suffer 1 stress point per 10 full points of margin of failure. So margin of failure is for every unit of 10 you failed by.
Okay.
So like if you had to get under 20 and you rolled a 40, that's 2 stress you're taking.
Yeah. So I just suffered a trauma.
Brilliant. So that's a -10 to all actions.
That's fast.
Indeed. So yeah. No, I rolled 91, so that's 9 points of stress.
Brilliant. I mean, to be honest, this is about how I expected this scenario to go.
I only took 1 point of stress.
Good.
I took, I think 5, but I have a TT of 8, so I'm okay.
Yeah. So
Snowden is doing fine.
the -10 from the integration check, that only applies to physical actions, whereas your stress is a -10 to everything.
Okay.
Your trauma. And now, continuity tests. Continuity modifiers.
Do we know how long we've been out?
No, you don't. So actually, I'm not going to give you any penalties because you just feel the passage of time is obvious, but you have no idea how long it's been. So
that would be
no
short.
penalties. It'll be willpower times 3.
Okay, that's pass 20 out of 60.
Nice.
45 chance.
Sorry, what was that, Chris?
I'm talking to myself. 56 out of 45, so I failed.
All right.
And then I cough and die.
I ended
And
up with 53 out of 45, so I failed again.
Every character suffers stress from loss of continuity as noted by the continuity stress table. I'll get to that in a minute. Reduce this stress damage by 1 point per 10 full points of margin of success on the continuity test. Increase by 1 point for every 10 full points of margin of failure. So you're taking, let me see.
So with 50, we take a minimum of 5 and then plus whatever we roll.
Yes, just give me a second and I will tell you what the... Hang on, where's my D? There we go.
The D10 divided by 2.
Yes, indeed. So you take 1 from your roll. So
not
everyone's
knowing if
taking
how
1
you died
plus
is
their... Sorry? What was that, Yodel?
Not knowing if how you died is a +2. Is that?
That's right. Let's call it a 3 then.
So base is 3 modified by
Margin of failure
Success.
or success.
right. Yeah. So actually, I succeeded. I got 20 out of 60, so that's 4 degrees of success. So nothing.
You take no stress.
I take 4 stress.
I
4
was
stress
always a
and,
robot.
and Yodel?
And I take, what's it, 3 plus 5?
I believe
So
so.
another 9, which leaves me with a second trauma.
Yodel, would you like to grab another character?
You know, yeah, maybe I would. Let's
For a
just see if that's
badass arms dealer, you're really bad at this.
The badass arms dealer will continue it to be in this scenario, but he's going to be freaking the fuck out the whole time.
I mean, arguably he is technically at -50 if I hadn't spent that moxie on everything physical. So yeah.
Do you want to grab another one of the characters and we'll do this again quickly?
Yes. Let's see. Where did I put the link? Right. So let's say X-Cop.
You'll take the X-Cop. All right. So continuity. Sorry. Let's go. Integration. Sometimes 3 minus 20.
Sometimes 3 is 20 for morph bonus. Well, sometimes 3 is 60.
So you need to get under
-24.
So you need to get under 40.
I did not. 71. It wasn't great, at least.
All right. So failure. You'll take that -10 to your physical actions. That's fine. Alienation. Int times 3, -20.
Let's see what the int is. 20. So 40 again. I rolled an 09.
Nice.
The cop
So you
is all right with being in a robot.
Brilliant. You succeed. Success character adapts to the... Yeah, you know, the body is hard to grasp, but, you know, I've got a metal face. Well, I mean, if you look at that cop's stats, I think the cop's skills, rather, I think you can see why the cop might be okay with it, considering the cop was stealing cutting-edge technology from lockup.
Like to
and
do.
then selling it on. And now let's do that continuity loss. So willpower times 3, and that will be a base of 3 stress.
Right. So willpower 10 times 3 is 30. No modification.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 90, so I'm good. And it's -1, so I only take 2 stress
Brilliant.
and no trauma. Well, I worked a lot better.
Yeah, the cop endured.
He does not speak Japanese, however.
Yeah, he does not speak Japanese, but the guy had a translator thingy.
Yeah, so English and Portuguese, however. But should I? He's English. Let's just call him something. Carl.
Carl. All right.
Quarrel.
I don't need this book open anymore. So let's close that. Yes, you guys look around this room as you right yourselves and try to get a hold of your new form. And you hear your metal feet scraping and clanging on the metal grates beneath you. And as you look around, you're in kind of a circular room. It's almost like you're in a cylindrical, and you look down and can see through the grated floor. And the sense of this structure you get is that you're in a cylindrical skyscraper that has no walls and barely any floor. And you just see stacks, you just see floor after floor of robots like yourself stepping forward. You see a few soldiers. There's like every 5 robots, there's a person. And you see a few of them moving now and pushing the robots yourselves, the convicts, back into the weird upright bed things you just stepped out of. You see them like restraining people and plugging things back in as other individuals step up and say, all right, all of you that have agreed to the terms of your parole, please walk to your left. You will find a staircase. Head down it. Continue heading left and down staircases until you arrive at the ground floor. And you all start shambling down.
About how many of us are there? Like, there's obviously the 3 of us, and then how
on
many
your
are
ring,
sort of walking with us?
In your clump before you move down to the next level is about 15 people. There looks to be maybe 4 staircases per level, so that gives you around 40 people per level, and you can see like 2 or 3 levels above you and 3 to 4 below you. So, 100 or so, maybe more. Way more than 100. It's like closer to 200, 300, sorry. Robots and whatnot. And you all look more or less identical. There's a few variances in faces. Some people have different arms, but for the most part, you are shitty worker robot bodies. Perhaps these things are about to get shipped up into space or something, or maybe to a hazardous work site. You do know.
By like worker, do you mean synth morphs?
Yes, it is a synth morph. It's the base synth. It's not a case. It's a little bit better than a case, thankfully.
Damn.
Yes, but you do notice that you have these armor plates on your body that seem to be giving you a bit more protection. And as you're walking along, does anybody want to try and use the mesh?
Yes.
Brilliant.
I will mesh the shit out of things.
Your mesh has no broadcast capability. It has
We're all gone.
no radio comm at all. It's not turned off. The hardware is missing.
This is clearly more evidence of human rights violations.
But you do start to see signals coming. Well, not signals, but you start getting information fed into your mesh as you bring it online. You see some of the statistics for this body that you're in. A lot of stuff about the processing speed of your brain and things like that. The weight, the handling load, and all this sort of stuff that means kind of nothing to you. You see that some new hardware has been installed. There is a chameleon coding has been added, and a system for managing that has been added to your body, as well as alterations to the optical sensors. So you know that you have enhanced vision as well as chameleon coding.
I reach across and sort of clank an elbow into Chris's robot and go, so what were you?
What?
What were you?
What squad?
I wasn't anything, man.
What? Oh no. They stuck me with a nerd.
I am a freedom fighter.
Yeah. So was I. Suddenly the
were you
dictionary
also-
changed. Suddenly the dictionary changed, yeah?
What? No. I was just trying to release secrets that the government had unjustly hidden from the people, and next thing they know, they're saying it's treason when I am just trying to get the information out there. Really fight those fascist pigs.
Just
Carl,
idea.
Carl, the police officer, you can hear lots of people talking around you. There's two people talking in Japanese in front of you. Behind you, you hear somebody like shouting in Korean. You hear another person in Japanese, like repeating over and over again about like how they're not meant to be here. You hear people next to you talking about like someone behind you says in English, "Man, I can't wait to get out of here. Fucking parole me. I'm just gonna fuck all these guys. I'm just gonna fucking tear their throats out." And you realize that everyone here is a criminal. And you're a corrupt cop in surrounded by criminals.
Yeah, let's
also
not
bounty
mention that
hunter.
part.
That's pseudo legal.
But yes, you get the impression.
I'm not a criminal. I'm a political detainee.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tanaka was just trying to decide if it was an insult to put himself with the nerd, or if the nerd like actually leaked something valuable and they put him with Tanaka. It's like, two ways that can be looked at. Anyway, we walk into the nightmare.
Yes, you guys file down to this bottom floor as more and more people are sort of swarming around you, more of these robots, and you see soldiers with actually Tanaka, you would recognize these, as would Carl. These soldiers are armed with plasma guns. Every one of them has a plasma gun, as well as a heavy pistol at their side, and they do not look like they are fucking around. You see one guy, as you come to the line, go to grab the plasma rifle, and the soldier just blows him away. The room fills with green light. You feel a cold heat is the only way to describe it. Like, that what you are feeling is warm and hot, but it doesn't feel hot the way you remember heat feeling. It just you have the sensation that something hot is nearby, but you don't feel the heat. This could be a symptom of your new cybernetic condition. But yes, one of the robot's torsos is gone. Perhaps it's not a good idea to try and grab the guard's guns.
In the movie of this, Tanaka reaches down into the ash and like daubs something on his face so that the viewer can tell him from the other robots. In the movie.
Brilliant. I mean, you're covered in chameleon coding, so you could just say that your face changes to have like war paint on it or something.
It's cooler this way.
I mean, even he like touches his face and the chameleon coating ripples and changes underneath.
I want to check. Do we have pockets at all? Like, is there any
Nope,
nooks
you have
or crannies? No?
you have nothing that even resembles clothing. There's probably nooks and crannies, but like it's not the kind of place where you'd want to put anything. You do have a mostly sealed outer shell.
All right, I just try to look disinterested.
The guards start separating you all out into... they don't seem to be separating you out with any rhyme or reason. They're just pushing you into lines. And you three manage to end up in the same line. The criminal, the man shouting in Korean, seems to also be in your line, as well as the Japanese man who, if he could, would be wetting himself. As is the insane guy who's talking about all the people he's going to kill when he gets out on parole, which apparently is what's happening here. He only heard the words he wanted to hear, it would seem. And you get to the front of the line, and there's two large guards and another soldier in front of, behind like a grate, and they look to you guys and say in English, what language do you speak? So we'll go with Chris, is the first person they talk to. Chris, they see you and they say, what language do you speak in English?
What?
Habla ingleso.
No, I am utterly dumbfounded, and I'll say something to them in Arabic.
One of the guards says to you in Arabic, what language do you speak?
Clearly, I speak Arabic and Japanese.
Well, so he's asking you... The fact that he's asking you in Arabic suggests he's asking what is your main language?
Japanese.
All right, you see the guard turn and say, you hear the word Japanese. And then he's like, and he pulls out a tablet-looking thing and presses a button, and then he says, all right, what weapons, if any, are you trained on?
I have some firearms training with kinetic weapons and secret weapons.
Well, you get one gun, so what do you want?
Secret weapon.
A Seeker weapon. Alrighty. So he
I seem to
hands
ask.
you a Seeker rifle, I suppose.
Sweet.
Weapons. Because Chuck's Eclipse Phase wiki is great for some things and terrible for others. The thing that it's great for is the weapons index. Seekers. So he gives you a Seeker rifle, which has semi-auto as the firing type. And then I guess for the stats we use grenades. So
Yep.
you hang on, we'll need the ammo type, the ammo quantity. You will have 12 missiles.
So
and
I'll
you
have
don't-
11. I'll have 11 missiles and one to use on myself.
That's a good point. You can have one EMP missile. And I will give you one. Let's go with anti-matter grenade. No.
Yeah, no, that's right.
You can have one overload. And then your other 10 will be high explosive. So I will give you the stats for high explosive, seeing as that's going to be the one you're going to be shooting the most. It uses... Oh, it's resisted by energy armor. I would have thought kinetic. That's surprising. So its damage is 3d10 plus 10. And it has no AP. Which I find surprising.
All right.
Yeah. And then one of the guards says something to the quartermaster. And then he says, "Do you have any other specialties that we should be made aware of before sending you out?"
God, I really want to say something shitty right now.
So you have no software packages at the moment and no tool to use to hack because you have no comms and you don't even have... You have access jacks, but no cables to plug into your access jacks.
I'm a programmer, and my main areas of expertise were with signal jamming. But you've given me a morph that goes against the Geneva Convention, by the way.
The guard sort of rolls his eyes. He's like, yeah, whatever. And they hand you a ecto and an electronic toolkit. Actually, they hand you a toolkit, we'll just say. So I think it's called... What are they called? They're not called Omni tools. The multi-tool, which has the extrusion stuff and things like that. And he says, "Look, be careful with this. You don't want to get hacked out there, all right? There's a reason we've disabled all your radio comms, and weirdly, it's for your own safety." And then the guards push you along, and we will do... I've already forgotten your Japanese name, Patrick.
Tanaka.
They say, "What language do you speak in English?"
I answer, I speak Portuguese in Portuguese, and then in English I say, I also speak English.
Brilliant. He's talking to you in English. He'd rather not use the comm thingy. You get one weapon. What do you want?
Also, I'm
one type
filtering
of weapon. I will
I'm
pick.
filtering equally with beams and kinetic weapons. I have a lesser secondary training in demolitions. I'll take a plasma rifle if you've got one going spare.
I'm not giving you a fucking plasma rifle. However, and he hands you a particle beam bolter. So let me scroll up to energy weapons.
They're both 65. It doesn't honestly matter.
Beam weapons. Particle beam bolter has armor penetration -2.
Mm-hmm.
It does 2d10 +4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
It is semi-auto, and it has 50 shots before it needs to recharge.
Okay.
Brilliant. And then he says, is there anything, do you have any other specialties that we should be made aware of before sending you into the field?
Before this, I was a bounty hunter. I've secondary skill sets in demolitions, driving, unarmed combat, infiltration.
They hand you a knife. When you say, when you
I have blades.
when you say like unarmed combat, they hear hand-to-hand combat. So they hand you a knife.
I do have blades. It's just my eyes fell on unarmed combat on the sheet beforehand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not going to give you anything. They're not going to like give you cyber claws. I guess I could give you shock gloves, but that will not help you. Yeah, they hand you a knife, just a normal knife.
It's like D10 damage, no AP.
It's D10 +2 plus your damage bonus for hand-to-hand stuff, which is on your. It's next to speed. So it's 1d10 +2, and it has armor penetration -1, which is actually pretty good, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, they push you on. And then we come to Carl.
I eat hands.
What language do you speak? They say to you, Carl.
English.
Oh,
Also-
brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. What weapon are you trained on, Carl, if any?
Well, kinetic. I'll take an assault rifle if you have one.
Done and done. They hand you an assault rifle. Do you have any other gun and any other ranged weapon skills?
Spray is pretty close after that.
Right. They hand you an assault rifle, and I will give you the stats for that now. It has -9 armor penetration. And it does 2d10 +8 damage. The magazine size, the ammo amount is 30. And they slide you 3 other magazines. So that will bring your total up to 120 bullets. If you need to know the firing modes, I don't know if it'll really matter. You've got semi-auto, burst fire, and full auto. So basically, you have all of the fire options for a gun.
Yeah, all 3.
Yeah. And it has a laser pointer on it.
Nice.
All of your weapons, well, I mean, actually, yes, it will matter. All of your weapons have laser pointers, but none of them have smart links. So, for example, normally with Seeker weapons, they all get a smart ammo type. Yours all just have they just have laser guided, I suppose. For your Seekers.
I know what you mean by laser dot, but I'm just picturing like one of those keychain things has been duct taped terribly to the gun.
I mean, I think for some of them that will be the case. But Carl, you also notice that on the underside of your gun is a shard pistol. That's been mounted sort of like an under barrel shotgun.
Nice.
Because that's basically what a shard pistol is. It's a shotgun pistol. So would you like the stats for that?
Sure.
You won't really have a space for them, but it's shard pistol. It's 1d10 plus 6 damage. It has 100 shots, and it has minus 10
Just
armor
put it
pen.
instead of my melee weapon.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it has minus 10 armor pen.
Minus 10. What's the damage you said? 1d10 plus
6. And it also has the full range of fire options. And just as a few more of you, you guys are being filed through this, down this chute, basically, and handed these guns. And he's just about to ask you, Carl, if you have any other specializations. And you guys hear a really close explosion, and the whole room goes silent. And then the wall up near where you guys got out of your beds or cells or whatever, you see the wall disappear and explode in a violet sort of purple glowing light. The wall just like disappears, and a wave of heat washes over the room. And then there's like a loud popping kind of explosion noise. And then screaming and panicking, and the soldiers the guards turn and start firing their plasma guns up at that hole as everybody around you is just shouting, "Go! Run!" And everyone is pushing against you, and there's a massive crush, and then you see light ahead of you, daylight, as the walls up ahead open in this sort of strange skyscraper. What do each of you do?
I listen to the man when he say run, and me run.
Yep.
They let us leave? Let's go.
Yeah.
Well,
Peace.
Brilliant. You all charge outside as the other robot prisoners spew out behind you, spreading across the open air in front of you, and you realize that you're in a city, kind of. You see open sky above you. It is daytime. You hear like bugs or locusts or something. You see insects up in the sky flying around, off in the distance, like a cloud of bugs a few meters above you. And you're in a street, a really wide street filled with rubble and stuff like that. There's fires burning around you. The ground is a little bit uneven there, and it's very industrial looking area, almost like as if a city sized oil rig had been built, is kind of the architecture around you. There's pipes and things going every which way, and the buildings around you are about the size of a warehouse height. What do you all do as more and more people start swarming out behind you?
Since we have better lines of visibility now it's open, do we see what's coming at the building?
Yeah. All right. So you turn around and look up, and you see the hole, but you can't see anything that made it. And then you see a what looks like a missile streak through the sky and then disappear for like half a second. And then you see this bright violet light erupt and slam like a water balloon against the side of the building that you just came out. It's been like half an hour at most since you woke up.
Well, I'm overloaded here.
Let's find some high ground and see where we are. Try to figure something out.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
shout
sorry.
that in English, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, neither of us speak English.
Actually, I tried to make it so that there should always be at least one person that overlaps in the scenario.
So I guess I'll repeat it in Portuguese if nobody
I speak
makes
English.
any.
Yeah, indeed. The Death Squad member speaks English and Portuguese and Japanese, and the hacker speaks Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
And
I have no
Arabic.
objection to the high ground plan.
Yeah. So those two, or you three, start running towards one of the buildings, and a handful, maybe 20 or so of the other people start, like, they see you running and follow. You hear a loudspeaker shout out, "All we expect you to do is fight." And it just sort of repeats over and over again in other languages, just compelling you to fight. The unspoken part being they mean for you to fight the other, these things that are attacking them, but you have fucking no idea what the fuck is going on. And you
So-
get
Shoot
to,
Chris. There, I'm fighting. No.
Yes,
You
let the pain end.
you get to the wall of this warehouse, and you see a half-broken sort of large metal sliding door. You push at it, and it opens up into this warehouse as you swarm in. There's staircases everywhere. Are you guys going to head upstairs?
Plans high ground to assess the situation. So stairs seem to fit that.
Yeah. As you start running up the staircases, and as some of the other people that are follow, some of the people continue to follow, others just run across the open space of the warehouse. They seem to just be trying to get further away from that explosion.
As they're doing this, I'm going to pull out the multi-tool and try to look for a mesh signal.
Yep, there's you actually managed to find. You plug it into your access. Are you plugging it into your access jacks, or are you just going to use the ecto? Try not to metagame. I mean, you know what the fall is. Your character has no fucking clue what's going on.
Minus authoritarianism,
Mm-hmm.
these fascist pigs clearly don't want me at my best, so I am totally going to plug that in.
Brilliant. So you plug your multi-tool in, and you use its its little radio transmitter to try and sift the signals. There's a lot of shit. You find the what we know as the internet, because that exists on Earth before the fall. You find a connection to that pretty quickly. In terms of other signals, there's a lot of microwave bursts going around, a lot of old radio signals channels being used, shit that, like, you didn't think people still really used, like most military had moved to microwave and laser comm, but people are using radio, like AM and FM shit.
I mean, I guess I'll check the internet to see what's going on news-wise.
News. What?
Because I'm confused.
What news? What news site does the hacktivist trust?
Daily Cause.
Drudge
Of course.
report.
Of course.
It's not been updated in weeks.
Okay.
But the last few articles that were published talk about rogue drones attacking cities, like the program drones that were in a holding pattern over a city, breaking rank and bombing a whole section. And then the U.S. military struggling to take back control of those drones. There's talk. There's an article about new illegal construction projects beginning at the Alice Springs Aerospace Center. There is mention of a Javanese space defense warship disappearing from record and radar. Lots of stuff about how like the world is at each other's. All the nation states are at each other's throats, and they're just getting ready for Armageddon. Like they're just going to start tearing each other apart, and then the website just stopped being updated like 3 weeks ago. There's nothing for the last 3 weeks posted to it.
Jesus.
He would know how long he's been under now, because he can actually see the current date.
Yes, you have been in an illegal government, an illegal world government black site suspension prison for 3 years.
Alex Jones bot was right.
No, I'm a left-leaning nut job.
FEMA death camps. Illuminati.
God. It's real. It's all real. Been gone for 3 years.
And you guys, your heavy robotic feet pound up the staircase. And you come out onto a balcony, sort of a 4-story high balcony overlooking this quadrant of the city. And you see just a mess of destruction. You do, however, recognize some familiar architecture.
Yeah,
so
where are we?
You are in a massive flat city. You see off towards the center of the city, there are you see a residential area with like 20-story high apartment blocks just in rows upon rows upon rows. They look like the most intact buildings around. It's actually not that far from where you are to that residential area. It's about 20 kilometers 10 kilometers away from here. Back behind you, stretching off into the distance, is this never-ending sort of factory space. You see more dots of residential areas, but that one you saw first was the largest residential area. And then you spot the distinctive, I can't remember what it's called, the distinctive sky rail of the Alice Springs spaceport.
So we're in the middle of Australia, basically.
You're in the middle of Australia.
Roll sanity. No.
Yes, the bat cult approaches.
We're already dead if we're in Australia. Doesn't even matter. That's the fall.
You thought the fall was bad in Europe. Well, let me tell you, sir.
So the rock that we're leaving and leaving us behind must be Australia then, clearly.
Yeah, we're just leaving Australia. We're going to go back to the motherland.
Yeah, the island is the rock that they're leaving. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. So they expect us to fight, but obviously that's Not going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to head to the spaceport, right, guys?
Yeah.
That would be the best way to get out, I guess.
Uh,
I presume you two are speaking Portuguese, so I have no idea what you're saying.
I mean,
Okay,
they
I
could
don't know
also
what you
be
guys are
talking
talking about, but we
English.
clearly need to go to the spaceport.
And do you say that in what language do you say that in?
Japanese.
Japanese. As you say that, the terrified gentleman who was speaking Japanese before grabs you and says, "Spaceport? There's a spaceport. We can get out of here."
Yeah, man.
Oh
We
my
gotta
god!
run.
You guys have got to protect me. He's holding a submachine gun, but he's holding it in a way that tells you he's never held one before.
Okay.
Professional
Give me your
squad.
gun.
I was going to say professional squad tactics to give him a quick. This is how you don't shoot yourself in the face lesson.
Brilliant. So you like, don't point that at us. Hold it like this. Make me that
This is the
squad tactics
safety.
roll.
The safety is your friend.
Make me that squad tactics roll.
28 out of 60.
Nice.
While
Yeah,
you're doing that, I will tell you it's a waste of time in Portuguese.
he's just gonna die.
In Portuguese, I say yes, but this way, when we send him out ahead of us, he lasts slightly longer.
If you say in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And it is at this point, as the loud buzzing gets closer, you realize the insects you saw in the sky that you thought were maybe like a cloud of cicadas or locusts or something. That's not what they are, and they were further away. Those are fucking insectoid-looking fighter drones with like tentacles coming out the back end of them. And
Oh god, Australia's evolved.
you see 3 of them break out of their cloud and swoop down towards you. And then what do you do? When I say
So the other guy-
towards you, they're swooping towards the area of the city that you're in.
Camo skin, dive into cover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The kind of
chameleon
tower.
cloak.
All right.
Back. I'm going to lean up against the wall and try to look like the wall.
Right.
Hide and chameleon cloak.
Yeah.
All right. So who is just diving back inside the building, and who is gonna like press themselves up against the wall of the outside?
I'll go into the building.
Inside.
Sorry, what was that, Yodel?
Away from the opening. So towards the inside of the building, I would go.
All right. So the 2 of you that just dive inside, you don't need to make me a roll. However, you do need to make me a roll, Mister.
Okay.
I'm gonna press myself against the wall.
Okay, that would be what? Deception?
So no, it'll be infiltration plus your mobile. So I believe it's plus 40.
Sweet. That's really good.
Is it plus 40 or plus 30? Doesn't really matter. Make me the roll either way.
Gear bonuses and those tend to be plus 30.
Yeah, I will.
Well,
Let's go
doesn't
with plus
matter.
30
It's-
and I'll double check.
39 out of 65.
Brilliant. So yeah, you push up against. You look at the wall and you like bring up in your mesh and say that, and then you press up against it, and you see the paint sort of. It doesn't even shimmer. It just changes as if all at once you're just a different color. It doesn't like fade over. It doesn't start at one specific point. It's just in an instant you're a different color and a different
Chromatophores.
pattern.
Doing their thing.
Yeah. Well, chromatophores don't normally work that fast.
They can work real fast.
Like in nature, they tend to you tend to see it shift. But anyway, the point is, you blend in and you see these 3 drones swoop down and sleek panels slide away on them, and they go from looking kind of like cuttlefish or squid to looking like angry wasps as various weapons fold out of them, and you just hear the street behind you where you just came from erupt in gunfire.
Can I make a hardware robotics check to kind of see how they, like, if this makes sense to me?
Give me 1 second, because hardware is like I think you might have a relevant knowledge skill.
Yeah, sorry. Comp sci?
What are your profession skills did I give you?
Mesh security, hacktivism, and artisan.
Artisan, because your artisan thing is that you make robots. That's your cover identity.
Okay. 18 out of 55.
Nice. Yeah, is there a specific thing that you're trying to get out of this?
I'm trying to figure out what the make and model of these drones are.
The make and model of them is not only have you never seen this, you've never heard of this. Drone fighters don't move this way, don't look this way. They don't bank that hard, and they don't have such massive weapons that unfold from them. Like, yes, they have weapons that fold away because then you can have a more aerodynamic profile, so that your gun doesn't catch on the wind as you're banking it freaking 20 Gs. But a gun like that shouldn't fold out. It's like this. It's like a Gatling plasma gun, and it doesn't just slide out of a recess. It unfolds. Its barrel slides out and gets longer, and they also balloon out as if the cylinders of the barrel had collapsed in on themselves and then been reinflated before firing. Shouldn't be possible to build something like that.
Okay, so this is beyond anything we can do.
As far as you're aware, it must have very advanced nanotech in the gun barrel.
Jesus.
Like, it would be so expensive to build something like that, to build a drone that way, as to make it pointless to build a drone that way. Like, the advantage of drones is that you can build heaps of them and they are disposable. This thing must be so expensive that you'd never want to send it into combat.
And there's an entire swarm of them.
There's an entire swarm of these things. So yeah, one's hitting up the street behind you, another one's in another part of this area. Yeah. And then they disappear. They zoom back off into the sky. As quickly as they came, they go. And you can hear people, the Japanese man that barely knew how to hold his gun is just like shouting and screaming, "I don't want to die! I don't want to die! I don't want to die!" What do you guys do? Those two of you that are inside.
Those things are in the sky. We need to find.
Yeah, well, we need to go, but like we need to also not make a lot of noise.
We need to get to Sua's subway tunnels. We need to have something nice and solid between us and the sky.
Do they even have that? Like, I don't know this city well enough.
I'm not from here, but they must have like sewers, water pipes. Come on, we're robots. We don't need to breathe. It doesn't stink.
That's true. All right. Anyway, I want to switch to thermal because I can see chameleon cloak through the thermal, right?
You guys don't have thermal vision. You have enhanced vision.
I mean, it would be like if you switch to infrared, you would see people like a shape, wouldn't you?
Yeah, except that's not a feature of enhanced vision. I understand what you're saying. But
I mean, just to get a sense of where people are, even when they're in this.
I'm pretty sure you can't using enhanced vision, you can't isolate specific wavelengths. So you'd see infrared and ultraviolet all together. You can't signal it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Well, but we should be able to see each other even though we're chameleon. Is my point.
Yeah, I guess you can. It's easier. You get a bonus to the roll to pick someone out, but yeah.
Right.
Okay. Industrial building is going to have some sort of water runoff, fairly large, like sewage infrastructure, so we can get down there, and that gets us out of sight of the killbots. Okay, you with me?
Yeah. Let's go.
Where'd the nerd go?
Yeah, get the meat shields. Well, shields, I guess.
There's like 10 people around you, so yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll get out of chameleon cloak and head inside.
Okay. I'll try
Get him
and
back
gather.
into chameleon. We don't want to go out of it at all.
I'm just going to try and gather the people we've got together. Okay, anyone here work maintenance, utilities, city?
One guy says, I used to be a smuggler, and
That's good. We need that. We need.
I worked in the Houston, Texas, Dallas megaplex. I would smuggle stuff in from Mexico. Yeah, I am familiar with underground operation.
Right. Good.
I don't
We
know
are
what
gonna
happened in the years I've been gone, but we've moved on to some next level shit.
Okay, and then I explain my plan to the smuggler guy. We need to follow pipes and water mains and sewage tunnels and such to get away from this, and we just need to get like out of the city towards the spaceport.
Any
draw me
sewer-
yeah. Make a list of like things to look out for, and
the Alice Springs. Actually, he wouldn't know where you are.
no, that's why I'm saying like a list of like things to look out for.
I was gonna say he was gonna say something about the Alice Springs city, but he doesn't. He's not. He doesn't know that that's where you are. So he's like, you want to crawl through the sewer? Like we are literally going to be crawling. Like they're not exactly spacious. We used to run drones through there.
Well, we are essentially drones. We don't breathe.
No, I mean like RC car type drones, you know, that like little sleds that drag your loot through.
So, what language is this guy speaking?
Let's say speaking English because he's from Houston.
Okay. I have no idea what's going on.
You just hear a guy talking.
Actually, I mean, you have mesh. You could get translation.
Yeah, you could download translation software.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a bad idea. Get on the mesh.
You're already on the mesh.
Download some translation software.
Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Make me an infosec check.
Okay, I can do that. $16 out of 75.
All right, let me bring up my dice. Because this is opposed.
By what? And?
I don't know.
I mean, you should.
What did
say
you get?
by who?
16 out of 75.
Are you happy with that?
I'll spend the moxie and make it a critical success.
I rolled a 15. So you beat me either way.
Oy, but still.
You don't get to know that before before I reveal if you want to use your moxie. So
And I did gain a moxie before for directly going against the authoritarian
yeah,
taskmasters.
So you you start to download an English language translation auto translation pack to your mesh, and you realize that someone has attached something else to this file. Would you like to try and excise said attachment?
I really don't want to deal with brainfuckle.exe, so yes.
All right, make me an opposed programming check.
Okay, that's also something I'm good at.
I know, I built your character.
54 out of 75.
54 out of 75. Are you happy with that result?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
All right. You're pretty sure that you got rid of anything that was attached to it.
Nice.
Do you... Actually, never mind. That doesn't matter. So, are you guys going to try and acquire more weapons before you go into the sewer?
I'm good.
From where? We have the guys
all the people that just got mowed down in the street outside?
That doesn't seem worth it. What if we get mowed down?
Well, the drones left.
Mm,
You saw them leave.
They'll definitely never come back.
They might come back, but like you might. This is pretty much your last opportunity to grab more supplies.
Can I do a quick? Can I try to find a map of Alice Springs?
Oh yeah, you find that easy. That's on like you find a public service mesh node thing and pull that up, and yeah, it's a nice street map.
Okay, I'll pass that over to the guy who speaks Japanese.
how?
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
No, I mean, like, how are you passing it over? He doesn't have mesh.
Yes, he does. It's just he can't. He can only receive, right?
No one has radio comms on. Like the radio
shit.
comm hardware was ripped out of your mesh.
Oh,
I guess
well,
if
fuck.
You could load it
You
to the
all have
Ecto.
access jacks.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
too.
you have to physically plug your Ecto into my my neck.
Or you could, I mean, the Ecto has a screen. Like, you can just
Yeah.
hit a map.
I'll show him the map on the Ecto.
Okay. I will do a tentacle hug against the door looking out into the street outside, Raymond. What sanity do I roll?
You don't need to roll sanity.
I'm giving you this present.
Oh wait, no, you would have to roll sanity because there's a bunch of fucking dead people. That's it. Willpower times 3 because it's just a street of destroyed robots. The horrific part is that you know these are
Another people.
that they had people in them.
27 out of 60.
So take 1 stress.
Mm-hmm.
As you see just a street full of burning, melted husks of machine. You see a few of the arms and legs attempting to crawl. Yeah. You do see the thing that you came out of as well, because you didn't really get an opportunity to look at it. You thought it was like a skyscraper. And now that you're looking at it, it looks like the shell of a spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like miles, kilometers, large distances from the spaceport, and there's no. It's not like on a track or anything. It's like it's landed here in the middle of the this working district.
So there's like rubble around it where it made impact, like it knocked
It's
the
like
building out of place.
it squashed a factory. It landed on a factory. and is now and part of the road and part of another factory. And you
So
actually
someone shot us from
realize
space.
maybe. You also realize that it's sort of sitting on a crossroads, like a Y intersection part of the road. So it's possible that some people got out other sides of the spaceship. It doesn't look particularly space-worthy, but here you are.
So it was a fire and forget thing. Okay. I scoped the skies. Any nightmares in there?
Just those robot locusts, well, robot squids flying overhead. And yeah, there's guns and
Okay.
things littered around amongst the dead.
I have infiltration 70. Turn on my chameleon skin and sort of belly crawl out to the nearest gun.
Do you have scrounging?
I do. I have it at, I believe, 55. Yes, I do have it at 55.
Make me a scrounging roll.
Bring up my app to roll. 66. That's a critical fail.
You find a plasma gun.
Sweet.
One of the soldiers must have run outside, but you grab the plasma gun. Do you want to keep looking?
No, I don't want to risk death from above, so I'll belly crawl back inside.
Does
I'm
anybody
pretty
else
happy
want
with
to?
my...
Does anyone else want to try and scrounge?
Sure, why not?
All right.
No, actually, I do not, because I don't have any scrounging.
Brilliant.
I am
Never mind.
interested in that too. I don't have any scrounging, and if I don't see it, I can imagine that everyone walked away fine from it.
All right. So you the gentleman that said he had experience as a smuggler says, "Look, I've been looking at this map that your friend had. We could get into the sewer here, but if we walk a kilometer east, there's a subway."
Okay, he's an American. He would say a mile.
That's a good point. If we walk 0.
No, it's the future. There's been progress. Things are better.
If we walk 0.9 miles.
0.79 miles.
There you go. If we walk a mile or two, there's a subway, and that'll be way easy. We'll be able to actually, if we get ambushed, we'll be able to fight in there. Whereas if anything comes up on us in the sewer, we're dead.
Yeah, it just seemed better.
I mean, you guys do what you got to do, but I'm heading for that subway.
Okay, if we're going to do this, we should probably stick to like back and side streets, more likely to be coverage,
Go
and we're
through
less likely to
buildings
get
if we
trampled.
can.
Yeah,
We could try and go along the rooftop, maybe.
too
That
exposed.
seems
Those things can fly.
they do look from above.
I have no idea what's going on right now, guys.
You downloaded the English translation app.
Oh, right. So yeah, no, we probably shouldn't go on the rooftop.
Well, it's just there aren't really side streets in this city. Looking at this fucking map, it's all just like access ways.
So, do we have any way to go through a wall? Does anybody know? Breaching?
I have
No?
a plasma rifle.
I have grenades.
Right. So, in the worst case scenario, we could work our way through at least one or two walls.
One of the salaryman with the SMG says, "Well, we're in a factory," and then he walks over and pulls a tarp down, It's like, this is a industrial level, industrial size nanofabricator. We could print anything we wanted if we had programs. But there should be a few things preloaded. I mean, we might be able to print a disassembler swarm if I can remember my login. I should be able to access
I mean,
my
I would
online
be more
storage.
comfortable with thermite, but sure.
Well, yeah, we can probably print some thermite. I mean,
I can get into something.
I never really designed explosives. I worked on robots and groundcraft, but I mean, and then one of the other
would be
guys.
sweet right now.
Then the fucking terrorist who makes biowebs like, I might be able to help out with that. And steps
If we can make demolitions, like skilled with those, we can salvage a vehicle. I can also drive.
So you guys are okaying the turning on of the fabricator?
Yeah, it seems safe.
It's not my field.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, there's. I mean, so long as the Earth hasn't been attacked by some sort of alien entity, it's probably safe.
Yeah, as long as like rogue AIs haven't tried to exterminate humanity, it should be fine.
Yeah.
So the salaryman,
What are the odds of that?
Salaryman and the arms dealer are both take their access jacks and plug themselves into the fabricator as they turn it on. And they seem to be they're chatting to one another as they work about like what they're going to need, and they're like, all right, so we want some demolition charges. Why don't we'll just print some scrappers gel, so we'll get some canisters of scrappers gel. We'll get a charge of super thermite. What else do we need? It's going to take we want simple stuff, otherwise we don't want to be here too long. This takes like an hour to print the scrappers gel.
Right. I mean, in an hour we could already be there if we walked on the streets.
Yeah, go for it, bud. Yeah, walk out in the streets.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen those super drones.
Well, yeah, no, it doesn't feel great, but like maybe moving fast would be useful as well.
Does anybody want to scout the surrounds while these guys print some explosives and whatnot? Because you don't really know what else is in the area of town you're in. Or even what is across the street from you or in the warehouse next to you.
I mean, I guess I could try infiltration.
I have pretty good filtration as well. Yeah, to scope the local area.
Yeah.
All right. It's for me. It's a 55%.
75.
Is that without your chameleon cloak bonuses?
Yes.
That's with and also with my continuity. My integration.
All right, cool. All right, yep.
It's 75 without chameleon cloak for me.
All right.
Okay,
who
yeah,
wants
no,
to-
Go
Do you
for
want
it.
to search the warehouse next to you first?
Yeah. So that's 73 out of 75 without bonus for chameleon cloak, which I think is again 20 or 30.
You
30.
managed to the two warehouses factories seem to be connected, and you step into the other one, and it is a motorcycle. Sort of not a what is the word I'm looking for? It's like a store. They sell motorbikes. It's just full of motorbikes.
So wait, it's a motorcycle dealership?
Yeah, it's a motorcycle dealership.
Nice.
I'll sort of come back and say, how many of you guys know how to drive a Harley?
Pretty much everyone puts their hands up. Everyone's got groundcraft and everything's electric, so it's not like anyone has to worry about shifting.
Ray, what is pilot anthro?
Anthropomorphic. It's for bot jamming. So, like, if you were remote controlling another person via their cyberware, you use that skill to get them to move.
Or like it's all covered with like walkers and exosuits, I think.
Yes, and
Yeah, there's at
exosuits.
least 2
But you
are-
use pilot anthro to use battle suits as well.
So if I want to go all Ripley and fight an alien,
Yeah.
all right.
There's a thing called like a mobility frame or something in Eclipse Phase, and it's like
But
it's
there's a
like
small-
it's like a motorcycle that you wear. It's got wheels and shit on it. It's a very weird. I don't think there's any art in the book in any of the books of it, but it is described in the main book.
Okay.
It's like a trike suit. It's very weird. I'm not into it. But
okay, well, we can get to the subway in like 4 minutes if we get on the bikes.
So, print one demolition pack, I guess, just to be sure, and then bike it. Just
are
leg it
all
across
three
the
of you in the motorcycle dealership talking about this?
No, I've come back.
You've come
Yeah.
back? All right. So you guys are talking about this sort of towards where the dealership is, like sort of halfway across, away from people, because you three are the ones organizing everything and you have taken charge. And then you hear kind of an abrasive sand through an hourglass kind of sound, I guess. Sand being poured out of a jug onto the floor is the sound.
Sort of a hiss kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is
Like a really distant rain stick.
is the
Oh, no.
nanofab doing
We're
something
being
weird?
hunted by hippies.
What did you say, Yoddle?
Is the nanofab doing something weird? Did they mess it up?
You look towards the nanofabricator and you see metal shavings pouring out of it as it breaks apart, and everyone in the room is sort of recoiling away from it, and they start like shouting at you, except for the 2 guys that plugged their brains directly into it. They're just standing there as the metal shavings pour out around their feet, and they start to sink into it, and they kneel.
Well, they're lost causes.
And then
Oh
they
God,
sort of-
Grey Goo!
and then they fall into it, and you see it sort of rise up their arms and legs and over them.
So how does one roll sanity in Eclipse Phase?
Will
I
times
give you
3.
a willpower times a number, in this case times 3. I've had people make willpower times 1 checks before.
That's cruel.
It was pretty fucking intense, the situation.
Right. I fail that.
All right. You take 4 stress.
I believe that beats my trauma threshold or my stress threshold. Or...
It's your stress
You have
threshold.
to take them all in one go for it to be
Oh,
trauma.
all in one go? Okay,
It has
never
to be
mind.
taken all in one go. So, for example, you can take 30 stress in an adventure and be fine as long as you didn't take your threshold at once.
Okay,
So, what's your
I'm at
threshold? 8 or 6 or
6.
6? So you need to take 6 at once for it to go over that, and you get a trauma.
Okay. So I also failed.
Yep,
do I
same
use
same
the
amount. So 4.
So I do actually take a trauma because my threshold is 4.
Damn,
Jesus.
that's minus 10 to you, sir. Is that your first trauma or your second?
Not my first.
Brilliant.
No, it was Dr. Kim that took 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
at character, Jen. Apparently, we're
Yeah.
playing Traveller. And
Okay, go.
you should probably roll as well, Patrick.
No, I was hoping you'd forget. And just pull up the app. And it's 59 out of 60.
59. Nice. So you pass. 1 stress
Yep.
as the people get consumed by the sand, the metal sand, and you run into the motorcycle dealership as other people follow you. And then you hear the sound of metal being ripped apart, like somebody just tore the muffler off of a bike, for example. But you hear it from the factory you just ran out of. And you run up to the bikes, and I assume you're going to try and jump on these things and get them started.
Mm-hmm. So that's Pilot Groundcraft.
It is
50.
Pilot Groundcraft.
And I get a 76 out of 50. So that's a fail.
50. Yeah. So you go to start it, and you can't work out where the starter is. Maybe it's got a dealership lock on it or something. You can't find the start button.
Are you out of Moxie?
Might be saving.
Yeah, no, it might be a good time to. No, actually, I got 76, and that'd be 67 out of 50. So it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Can't you also turn a failure into a success with Moxie? Not just
You can flip the numbers.
You can flip the numbers. Yeah. You can flip the numbers or re-roll, or you can downgrade from a critical to normal.
Oh, I'll re-roll then. 75. No, that didn't help.
Help. All right, let me. Groundcraft.
So,
I will spend a Moxie to flip it to 38.
Yep, so you start yours, and do you go, or do you wait to see what everyone else is doing?
do we want a sand check, or do we not want a sand check, is what you're asking, isn't it?
Well, I'm asking him what he's doing. Is he going to leave these people behind and rip ass to the subway, or is he going to wait for the other people to see what if they're going to actually get their bike started?
I will wait for now.
All right. And Yodel, what did you get on your groundcraft roll?
So my skill is 45 originally. This is minus 10 for the trauma, and another minus 10 because it's physical, I guess. Maybe?
I think because this is just to get it started, I think this is not physical.
All right. So my skill is 35 right now, which means that my 44 isn't good enough.
It is, in fact, a critical failure.
Indeed. So I'm thinking that bike isn't going anywhere.
So you think you find the start button, and you go to press it, and the bike starts making a lot of noise, and you realize that you've pressed the alarm, and that the bike has now locked up and will not start for 60 minutes.
Well, I'm just going to go to the next bike and try again.
You push one of the other dudes off the bike as you jump onto it.
So should I just roll again?
Yes.
15. That's a success.
It starts. You thank whatever deity you would like to. And Patrick...
I run over to him and wrap around and ride behind him.
You just
Is there room for
bail
two
on
on it?
your bike. All right, cool.
I mean, you could get on my bike too. It was started.
No, you've got nerd cooties.
All right, so both your bikes are started. What are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna ride? Are you gonna smash through the front window?
I mean, is that an option? Like, I would probably shoot it with my shard pistol extension just to make sure that it, breaks. Because if it doesn't break, then we're not gonna drive through it.
Yeah, you shoot it with the shard pistol 3 times until it breaks, and then the glass shatters, and all the other people on bikes just start streaming out. There's only 4 people with you, so that's 7 in your group all up now. And you just as you're all driving out the window, you see the sand pour, the metallic sand pour through the doorway. And these 2 sand snowmen walk out of the windows after you, but you very quickly get up to highway speeds. And
we all memorize the path because we all have mnemonic augmentation. So
that's true. The rubble isn't too bad on the road here. I'm not going to make you make another check. But you, do you guys just haul ass straight to the subway?
Yeah, seems like a good idea still.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys arrive at the subway. You turn, you're sort of coming along this curving road, and you see the subway up ahead. Very weird architecture. Kind of looks like postmodern corrugated iron bee's nest or wasp's nest.
Okay, keep going away from this thing.
I mean, you can see the entrances to the subway.
Yeah, no, that seems untrustworthy.
I mean, there's weirder architecture in Scandinavian parts of the world.
Okay. Can we make any sort of check to see if...
Do you have architecture or sculpture or civic engineering?
I have sculpture.
All right, you can make me a sculpture check.
Out of curiosity, what is Sprots and why am I interested in it?
I think that's meant to be sports. Sorry.
I got a 27 out of 40.
Well, I mean, I am a bounty hunt. I'm not a hunter. I'm a hunt.
Again, there's sometimes not enough room to write the full thing.
I mean, it could have been a short for something, like special rotten eggs.
No, it's meant to be sports. Sorry. So you succeed.
We're disappointed in you, Raymond.
You succeed on your sculpture. It reminds you of a piece somebody did. It's actually pretty common. It's very common for what it is. This piece, like it's done a lot, where you pour molten aluminium into an ant colony and then dig it out to see the shape.
Oh yes, I've seen that video.
Yeah.
You mean?
And there was an artist that was inspired by that to try and make that. They were looking at the houses that insects and birds make for themselves and how to apply those design principles to physical structures. And out in the Gobi Desert, he actually fabricated a bunch of these sand. He basically built like this sand mini city out of these weird wasp nesty things. It reminds you of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So art piece, not necessarily death trap.
Not necessarily. But can you trust me?
Well, no.
Clearly,
but the
no,
adventure doesn't happen if we don't go inside, so let's go inside.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like when I gave you the option at the beginning of the game. Would you like to accept this parole opposition? If you say no, it's like, all right, cool. Pick up another one of the characters, and I'll ask you that question again.
What if we just said no for every single character?
Then we would have Then I would have said to you all, are you purposely wanting to not engage with the premise of the game? Yes, you have to be supervillains. I'm sorry.
Hey, I am a political detainee. How dare you?
I was quoting Caleb, but
Yeah.
All right. Anyways.
anyway.
So, yeah, no. Let's engage with the game.
Brilliant. I'm glad that you choose to engage with the game.
Let's go inside.
Yes. So you walk up to, you pull up your bikes to the subway, and you hop off and you grab your guns.
Actually, is it a normal bike with 2 wheels and like a normal staircase down?
Yes, it is. An escalator, but the escalator's turned off. Are you about to ask me, can I ride my bike down?
I mean, if you go slowly, would that be possible?
You could walk them down.
All right. I would pose that question. Should we keep them? Like, we might be able to drive down the track once we're down there.
They're electric bikes, so they're not particularly loud.
I
How
think
big
that's
are
a good
they?
idea.
Could we? Does
Yeah,
it
you
look
could ride them on the
doable?
subway. Yeah, it's totally doable. If you guys want to do that, you
So
can't
we'll keep moving
ride them.
quickly
You
when-
can't ride them down the staircase without making me groundcraft check, but you can walk them down the staircase easily.
All right.
Okay.
I want to do that.
Yes, no reason not to. Let's walk them down.
Cool.
If things go bad, then we can do a groundcraft check.
Mm.
You start walking them down the staircase, and the architecture of the outside continues inwards. Hang on,
Large sculpture.
yeah, it seems like the entire subway was built with this sort of beehive-y wasp nest architecture to it. Yeah, but it does feel kind of damp in here. Like there's a moisture to the air.
Oh, that's a good sign.
As you walk in.
Oh no, my joints, they will rust.
Does anybody want to make me an investigation check to work out like why it is damp?
I do not have this thing.
You know who does have it at 70? The cop.
Where is
Indeed.
investigation?
It's near infiltration.
So
Yeah,
would
it's
you
in
call that a
active
physical
skills.
action?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. It's a mental action in this context.
Mhm. So I'm at 60 right now.
Yes, because of
Officer, let us survive. Please do this.
Yes, I'm
investigate
Constable. Let us
49.
survive. 49, did you say?
Yes.
So
out of
that's a
60.
success with your penalty. Boop-a-doop-a-doo,
Also, if it's a visual thing, then I have another plus 20, right? Or is that only for perception?
No. It's visual, so yeah, you would have a plus 20. So that would more or less negate your penalty. It'd actually give you a plus 10 bonus overall. I'm trying to find my notes on this thing. So I
It
can
is a smaller
describe it to you.
replica of the sculpture.
This is bees. So as you were walking through, this is the metal that makes up the structure has like when you're looking at it a bit closer, you see it's got plastic mixed into it, like synthetic skin. It's quite dark in here because there's no power running to the subway. But as you look at it closer, you see like cyborg, like robot faces, like the silicon faces that they put onto synths to make them look a bit more human and friendly. And you see, as you get deeper into the space, you see robotic arms. And then you step onto the ground floor of the subway at the bottom of the staircase, and you hear a sort of a sloshing noise, like you stepped in a puddle. And you look down, and there is a blanket of blood and meat and mince patty beneath your metal feet.
Well, that's slightly disconcerting.
Let's go back upstairs. Let's go quite quickly back upstairs.
Pilot groundcraft to go back upstairs.
Make me that roll. Yeah.
40!
I'm going to flip
40
that.
out of 40.
All right. So you turn the bike round and just ride up the stairs.
28.
27 out of 45.
All right.
No.
And so, assuming that our death squad soldier is still
28, I said.
Okay, cool. So you guys ride up the staircase, back to the top, and the other people are like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" One of them starts his bike and tries to follow you, and it immediately cartwheels backwards as he tries to go up the stairs, and he lands in the sloshing meat.
He's dead. Moving on.
And then you guys see blue neon kind of light erupt behind you in that red mess. It sort of streaks like bioluminescent plankton, and it just swarms around him. And you see him start thrashing, and then his thrashing slows like it's in slow motion, not like he's trying to stop. And then you see his cybernetic body explode and go in all directions, as if somebody put a electromagnet inside his chest and then changed the polarity of the magnet. So it was like pushing south against south. And every component of his cybernetic body repelled every other component of his cybernetic body.
You're making a very big assumption here. I'm not looking back. Period.
Well, other people in your group do, whether that's the players or not.
The camera sees it. The audience sees it in the movie.
The camera
sees
it. It's not Schrodinger's monster. It does in fact happen whether you observe it or not.
We have arrived at Shoggoth Station.
Yes, I saw that. So now you guys are all up on the street, and you see, the building sort of emits a hum.
Oh, good. It's full. Let's go.
I believe our Death Squad member has music.
I do. I have music at 55.
Can you make me a music check, please?
96 out of 55. No.
It's a very... It's kind of an angry sound to you. It's discordant. It doesn't sound like... It sounds like someone who's only ever heard people talk about music is trying to make music using a building full of soup.
I hate Vaporwave. Let's leave this place. Let's just leave from where the buildings are. We've got the map. What's the nearest route to suburb, exurb? We're in Australia, desert.
Well, the desert's actually 50 kilometers from here because you have to go to the edge of the city.
Well, it's a spaceport in the city, just...
Yeah.
Presumably
So
not.
the Alice Springs spaceport is basically the official name of the city you're in. Somebody built a company built the Alice Springs spaceport and then expanded Alice Springs around it. Alice Springs is kind of a small country town now. What's happened here is they've built it up into a huge system to support the spaceport. So everyone either works in the spaceport or in supporting the spaceport. So, yeah.
Sure, but in what we would term the spaceport, i.e., the bit that actually goes to space.
Yes, indeed.
How
The
far are we
actual
from that?
spaceport part. You're about 30 k's from that.
I feel like that would be a better direction to head.
Your bikes can do like 260 kilometers an hour, so
I mean, that's if the roads are fine.
indeed, that's the top speed.
The roads aren't fine, but let's go anyway.
They are not go cycles, so you do not have shape-shifting wheels that will allow you to ride on water.
Spaceport, guys, shall we go?
Spaceport.
I'm feeling the spaceport.
All right, so you guys start ripping ass towards the spaceport. Somebody make me a navigate roll.
I have it at
I do not
45. Do I get a bonus for the map?
Yes, you will get a +10 bonus for the map.
I get a 9, so that's a pass.
Brilliant. So you very quickly come to a crashed drop ship. So a vectored thrust helicopter rather than rotor blades, basically, is how you describe it. You know, like the thing from Aliens. And it's blocking the road. So you pick another path round. The path you pick round takes you close to a residential area, a residential block. Not the one you saw before, one of the smaller ones. Are you happy with this course, or would you like to pick a different one?
By residential, do you mean more apartment blocks than...
Yes, apartment
like,
blocks, not suburban.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing suburban in the Alice Springs spaceport.
No. If it's the fastest way, it's the fastest way that we have.
It is the fastest way.
Then that's the priority.
All right. So you start driving through. Everywhere else you've been, there hasn't really been any power. As you arrive at the residential blocks, you see these. Row after row. You see 5 rows of apartment buildings, and they have. You can tell that they have power on, like the lights out the front in the entranceways to them are on, but all the windows are black, as if they've been painted black.
Good for them. Let's continue.
Brilliant. So, you come to a sort of a little park, and you guys see. Everybody make me a perception check. You have +20 from enhanced vision.
And -20 from things.
So that puts Yodel at base.
That's a fail, 73 out of 35.
Ooh,
I got 8 out of 40.
nice. And what did you get, Chris?
10 out of 50.
Nice. So Chris and Yodel, your characters see in this sort of playground park area, you see see a child running, like just for a moment, and then they disappear behind something. So it's like they were running to hide. What do you do with this information?
Check my motivations. Plus open source, minus capitalism, minus authoritarianism. There's no plus child rearing.
There's no plus the future of the human race, so fuck that.
I
Yep.
have a minus poverty. I'm not so sure. There's also the fact that I am a cop. Like I can see that even as a corrupt cop, I would still care about people. Just care about me more.
You're corrupt because you wanted to get rich, not because like you were murdering people for fun.
Yeah. So
This
yeah,
has
no,
nothing to do with overthrowing the system. You gotta move past so we can fight the system.
So, Carl, what do you do?
I can't ignore this.
So you stop
I
your
have to do.
your bike. Is our death squad member still riding on the back of?
Yeah.
So you notice that Carl has stopped the bike. He seems
we
to be
doing?
looking towards the play equipment.
Yeah. So I will shout. If you come out of hiding right now, we can bring you with us, and you'll be safer than hiding here. Probably. I don't shout probably, I just say it.
It kind of echoes through the surroundings.
Probably.
No, your voice.
I will try to look around as quickly as possible, just see, like, can I find the kid again?
You can step off the bike and make me an investigation check.
Yep, I will do that. All right, investigation is 70 minus 20 if this is physical.
It is physical, but you'll get a plus 20 because it's vision based.
Yeah, 30 out of 70.
All right. So yeah, you guys see Carl walk towards the play equipment. And then Carl, you walk up to the covered tube slides. So it's like you're sliding down a tube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you walk up to that, and you can see a child up inside, and you see a little girl in there. She's wearing kind of a jumpsuit-looking thing. It's a reddish, a dark maroon red. It's very dirty and torn.
Right. So I will try to make her feel more comfortable by doing a classic Australian "How do you do" of some sort.
G'day.
G'day. Sure.
Test. Do you hear me?
G'day, darling. How you doing?
Oh, yeah. I can hear you, Chris.
Yes, Chris, I can hear you. Or I could
And
half a second ago.
I will like reach out a hand that just
She sort of looks hesitant and then grabs your hand. Do you pull her out of the tube?
Yes.
Right, so you pull her out of this sort of pipe slide and lift her up. And you notice that she's got a lot of cyberware on her skull.
Right.
It could be neurological prosthesis if maybe she suffered a head injury earlier on.
So I will say you'll be all right. We'll go with the bikes to the spaceport and we'll leave.
All right. She doesn't really say anything.
Did anyone else stop when I stopped?
Yeah, all the bikes stopped because you're traveling together.
All right. So I'll just tell Tanaka.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have kinesics?
Sit on another.
The cop has kinesics.
Yeah,
I
but like
think the death squad member has kinesics.
I do.
I guess I could, but like it's a kid. I don't think I wouldn't think of questioning her.
I think that's worth a moxie.
Look, everyone's
yeah,
gone
I'll
through
give you a
the stage
moxie
in
for
their
that,
life as a
Yoddle.
kid when they've got tentacles coming out of their face. It's normal.
She doesn't have tentacles. She just has cybernetic prostheses on the back of her skull. That's perfectly normal.
She's just
So-
crying blood.
Cybernetics are fine.
She's just howling in the voice of 1,000 damned souls. It's
What did you
fine.
get with your kinesics there, Patrick?
I failed.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
We're fine.
It's good.
It's all good.
The kid seems nervous, and worried.
So I'll just tell Tanaka, you sit on the nerd's bike.
No. No, this bike is for me.
You could get on one of the random people's bikes if you want to put your fate in my hands.
Yeah.
I'll get on the nerd's bike. You can have the girl.
That sounds so weird when you say it like that.
Mm-hmm. It does.
You're the one
I
going
have a
around
name,
collecting
though.
children, mate.
Well, she'll die if we leave her, all right?
Because we're gonna survive this. You're right, of course. Yeah, no.
I'm not planning on dying.
There's no planning involved. We're fucked.
Look, this is a
It's just-
tough body. We'll be
It's just a
fine.
little girl. What's the matter? What's the problem?
Oh, I'm not even talking about the little girl. We're fucked, guys.
Let's
I mean,
go. Let's continue driving to the mouth of madness.
Indeed.
So you guys start up your bikes and start riding down the street again.
I just assume the more we drive, the more Mad Max we get. Like, we all have shoulder pads now.
Yes, indeed.
We're spiky for no apparent reason.
Well,
You've
I mean, our armor plates were always spiky. We just didn't notice until now.
Yeah, until the girl impales her face on one of your back spikes as you go over a speed bump. So you drive to the you get to the edge of this residential block of these apartment buildings, and you notice that there's kind of a green moss all over the road. And the four other bikes of the well, I guess three other bikes. The three other bikes, because one person died. They ride across. They ride onto the green part, and you guys stop. Do you shout out to tell them to stop?
Yes.
Yeah. So they stop. Like, what? What's the matter?
Whenever anything is out of the ordinary here, it kills somebody.
Yeah, let's just
Okay.
assume weird thing is a trap.
You see weird green shit on the floor, you don't walk on it.
So
I
one of
sort
the
of
guys.
glare at the little girl.
One of the guys kicks his bike stand and steps off the bike and gets down. He's like, I thought it was like just grass going through the cracked asphalt. And he leans down and sort of touches his leg and grabs his like, that's
in
not
the middle
grass.
of the desert.
It's like moss. It's weird.
How about you get
Pointing
off
the-
of it?
Pointing the particle bolter.
It's just a road, man. We can't stop and freak out. Like this is taking
Yeah.
longer than if we just ridden across it.
Just go around it.
It
It's not-
covers the whole road.
Then
Well,
go
maybe-
off fucking road.
There is no off road. There's not even a sidewalk here.
There is building and road.
So wait. So what you're saying is that there's a road and then blank void?
No, so it goes row. You're just
There's
at the
no
end
sidewalk, he's saying.
You're at the end of where this residential block ends, and and you've just sort of left the residential block, like it's like 5 meters behind you, and now you're on the road, and it's factory road. There's no sidewalk between the factory and the road.
I'd rather go the long way.
Is there a parallel street?
Probably if you go back into the residential area.
Really don't want to go backwards.
You mean you could try and you could use the plasma gun to shoot through the wall of the factory, and
I was
then go
thinking
through
use
the
the
factory.
guy's particle bolter to like shoot a path, because the particle bolter sort of makes little explosions, basically.
Yeah, you could probably do that. You could also
Yeah,
like
let's try shooting the evil moss. Let's just shoot the evil moss. That definitely won't make anyone notice us.
Well,
What are your suggestions then, Mister Otaku?
We'll go a different way.
all right.
All
what
right,
was
plan
the
the route.
what was our hacker's name again?
Snowden.
Oh,
Snowden. That's it.
Schroden.
Snowden, you have the urge suddenly, and you can make me a willpower roll if you're not okay with this, but you feel uneasy about that road, and you want to put yourself between the road and Carl, as well as the girl. Sort of like, when you want to push, you want to sort of like as a mugger approaches a family, and you want to step between the mugger and your family. That's the kind of feeling you feel.
No, I care about systems, not people. So, what would the willpower roll be?
Willpower times 2.
Okay.
I wonder if I have a psionic familiar. That's out of character, but yeah.
It wouldn't matter
22.
because async powers can't affect synthetic minds.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's a 22 out of 30.
Out of 30, a critical success. This is an alien thought. This is not your thought. And you
I don't know
realize
how to.
that you have not unplugged the Wi-Fi module from yourself since you downloaded the English packet. You've had it plugged in and turned on this whole time.
I'll unplug it.
You go to unplug it. Make me a willpower times 2 check. As your hand grabs the cord and you realize that if you pull this out, you will no longer be connected to the mesh. You'll be your greatest power, your greatest tool, your medium for change. You'll be cut off from it.
So I just rolled and I got a broken image.
Brilliant. Just reroll.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, are you using Dice Stream?
Yeah.
It does it occasionally. Yeah, just reroll.
Maybe it's one number that always breaks.
Because it loads an image of a dice, so sometimes the image just doesn't load. So you got 92.
I have one Moxie left.
Do you want to spend it?
Yes! Holy fuck, yes!
So a 29, I assume that succeeds.
Out of 30, yeah.
Yeah. So you hesitate for half a second, and then you pull the cord out. And while this is going on, it sort of happens in an instant. You see Snowden move towards you, Carl, and then he stops and pulls out and unplugs his Wi-Fi node. And then the street, all the green moss that was growing in the cracks, the green moss unzips and opens up into razor-sharp obsidian voids, and the three people and bikes that were standing on the road fall into those holes. And you see them go down to like their about nipple length, and then the road seals shut, and they get instantly sliced in half. and you see them like gasping as blood shoots out of their mouths, and they're like scraping and clawing at the asphalt. Actually, blood wouldn't shoot out of their mouths. They're robots. Yeah.
Could be some
You
fluid.
just see them like flailing and scraping at the asphalt, and then you see like sort of white foam seep out around where their bodies were just insta sliced. And it starts to bubble and froth around them, and then they all sort of freeze as if they have run out of power, all the while screaming in horrible, distorted, that horrible, distorted scream of somebody shouting too loud and too close into a microphone.
So
Willpower times 3 checks.
Okay.
For everybody as you watch
Yep.
these 3 people you're traveling with just get eaten by a road.
27
17.
60.
Who failed?
Nope. I
I
passed.
failed.
Did Yodel just say he failed?
You did.
All right, cool. So Yodel, you'll be taking 2 stress. Because
Oh.
that's because random rolls are great.
Indeed.
So I feel like I should make a stress roll myself for the whole mesh thing.
Yes, go for it. If you didn't fail that roll, you take 1 stress, and Yodel takes 2 because dice.
All right. Well, I just failed my mesh roll, so 56.
6. You take 6 stress. Something was fucking controlling your mind. Something tried to subvert your will.
That's
But
my
they
trauma
tried-
threshold.
Tried to do it subtly. Is that your first trauma?
Yes.
All right. Cool. So it's a -10 to all actions going forward.
Great.
On your second trauma, you take a mental affliction thing. Yeah, you guys just saw the fucking road eat someone. And after the bodies stop thrashing as they run out of power, about 5 seconds pass, and then the girl starts crying.
Okay.
Let's go.
It's not human.
Alright, we're not.
I don't know what that is, but
Let's go around.
We'll not take that road. All right. We'll
I
be fine.
fucking told you.
You didn't know those guys. It doesn't matter to you.
Told you not to take them. Told you we should have gone a different routes.
Are you comforting the little girl, Yodel?
Yes.
Yeah. So you.
I mean, I'm not like really. I mean, like I want to pat her, but like it's metal. Like, would that even help?
I mean, it's touch. It would help some. You're warm to the touch. Like, you have batteries and shit. Like, you're not cold.
Yeah. Also, I could like focus on her hair because then it would be like.
That's true.
dampened by
That sensation would
That child.
yeah.
That child do not feel sad.
You're comforting yourself as much as the little girl, as you're like, it's okay. You didn't know them. They didn't mean
It
anything
is
to you. It's
okay.
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
We're gonna take another way, and we'll be perfectly fine.
So, what is the other way you're going to take?
I mean, I guess back through the residential area, and I'll
Let me pull out my map.
Mm-hmm.
like some parallel
Mhm.
street.
So, does this map have Google Street View? Because there's all the weird.
Yes, it does have Google Street View. Would you like to use it?
Sure, why not?
All right. Are you
you-
Let
using
me
it?
just
okay.
go crazier.
Are you using it on the Ecto or on your mesh?
Ecto,
On the Ecto.
All right. So, you see footage of yourself high and to the left. Do you look high and to the left?
Yeah, I guess I do.
You see a camera.
Okay.
So the street view, because it is the future, is live. It's live footage. It hooks into the local network and feeds you that footage.
Can I check through a few other cameras?
Yeah, after a few minutes, it adjusts and it puts you out. It sort of like projects it so that you feel like you're standing on the road. Like it looks like a first-person footage from the road, but you can tell that it is a live composite of multiple camera angles. Yeah, you're standing on the road on the other side of the bit of green that just ate people.
Not sure how to take this. Can we like? Oh, can I use like different street views to figure out which roads are safe?
Yeah. So you're gonna try and find a route around this part.
Yes.
Pretty much, you have to go back into the residential area, but it's like 60 seconds of travel to get around it.
I'm specifically like I'm specifically looking around in the residential area.
You don't see any more of that green stuff on the road. You don't see any gun drones swooping down out of the sky.
Okay.
You don't see any wasps' nests the size of subway stations. And you don't see any oceans of silver sand.
Then I will head that way.
All right. So are you guys going to ride your bikes?
If that's the best route, let's go that way.
So you ride round the corner and you pull down the street, yeah, you've managed to get back onto that main road that's going to head towards the spaceport.
Sweet.
Yeah, and
Did it, guys. We're safe.
You've got the little girl on your bike, and you start riding towards the spaceport. You can hear explosions off in the distance, and then you see you sort of come to another. You're in another industrial area, and it's a huge opening. It's kind of like it's like a 5-road intersection, and there is another spaceship right in the middle of the intersection. You're maybe 15 kilometers from where you guys started your trip. You're about to get onto the actual freeway that will take you to the spaceport, and there's a big, huge fucking spaceship right in front of you. All of its doors are open. You see robotic bodies littering the streets around, but not nearly as many as your spaceship that you left. Yeah. What do you guys do?
Why are we stopping?
Well, you're stopping because you can't
that's what
drive.
I'm saying. I'm saying why we're stopping. Like, oh, we can't. It's perfectly blocking.
Yeah, it's blocking the road. It's like scraped the side of the buildings, but it hasn't crushed any buildings like it did in your case.
Do we
I'm
think
at
there's
an
a way
impasse right now.
through? Do you think, like, we know from the one that we came out of that it had multiple doors, like it had multiple off ramps. We can probably cut through this.
Right.
You know, go in through door A, go out through door B.
Sure. And we could probably walk our bikes through it again, but that didn't turn out so well last time.
No, I have to get the feeling that things don't turn out well anymore. So it's that or what? Go down a block.
Yeah.
Nerd.
What?
What's your thoughts on this? Snowden, that's your name. Go through or take a block around?
I'd rather take the long route. This shit's dangerous.
As you guys say that, the little girl jumps off your bike and sprints towards the opening of the spaceship.
Well,
Out of character, guys. She's an exurgent, right?
No, definitely.
Oh,
She's like 5
definitely.
exurgents.
Okay.
yeah. But
In
like, in
character.
character, I follow her because, what am I supposed to do?
Do you ride up into there?
Yes. Well, I mean, can I ride in or do I have to walk in again?
Yeah, you can ride in. They've got like rampy things. It's just you need to ride slowly, otherwise you're gonna like slam into those chutes that you guys walked out of, that they funneled you out as they were giving you your weapons.
Yeah, well,
I forgot. Do we leave him? Do we go get him? I say to Schmoden.
Let's go.
Let's go then.
Go get him or leave him?
Leave.
Go get him.
Oh, no, I'm
saying.
saying leave.
so they have that conversation, and then they go different directions.
Yeah, indeed. They have that conversation. Say, should we go after him or,
Sorry,
or
it's
leave?
lay on my
Oh,
hand.
we should go. And then one of you drives forward while the other one is about to turn away.
Wait, what? No!
Honestly, no. Yeah, I think leave. Like,
Yeah, let's leave. This isn't worth it.
All right, so you guys start to try and drive around. You
we know the
ride
drones
up.
hit those things.
You ride up inside the drop ship kind of thing, Carl, and you see the little girl in one of the at one of the armory stations. You see her climbing over the counter and getting behind the counter.
Armory as in weapons, right?
Yeah, the counters that you guys were at, and they asked you what weapons you were trained on.
Right.
It's those. It's one of those. She's climbed up behind.
I mean, unless you actually shot one of those before, I don't think that's a good idea.
You see, you can't really see what she's doing from the angle you're at. You could walk over there. You'd have to get off the bike.
Yeah, I'll get off the bike and walk up to her.
Yeah, you quickly jog over to the counter and you look over and you see she has a box cutter in her hand, and she is cutting at the back of the head of the quartermaster.
Oh,
At the neck, just where the neck meets the skull.
so do I roll the lucidity thing now?
Yeah, roll me willpower ×3, my friend.
Yes, well. Nope. 65 out of 30.
Okay. Take
did
3
it.
stress.
All right. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't think of a human reason why you would do that.
And then she looks up at you, and she sort of has like kind of like puppy dog eyes, like you've just caught her painting her bedroom wall with her hands, like doing hand painting on the wall. And she knows that you're probably about to yell at her and she's going to get in trouble, but like she really doesn't want you to yell at her.
I'm not
That's
angry.
the face. That's the face she's wearing. You're just
I'm not
disappointed.
angry. I'm just disappointed. Actually,
I'm not angry. I'm just horrified.
Yeah, that's probably closer to it. I'm gonna say, all right, you're gonna have to stop that. Like, you can't be doing that. That's not normal. People shouldn't be doing that.
I'm sorry. And you
Almost
see her,
as if she's a fucking inhuman monster and you should kill it.
you see her slide the blade on the X-Acto knife back into its recess, and she puts it in her pocket. And then you see her like wipe her hands on the shirt of the officer in front of her, and then she says, "But we have to save his soul."
That's right. All right. I see what you're saying.
If we leave him here, they'll get him. And she points to something behind you.
I will look at what that is.
You see a 8-foot tall walking robotic sarcophagus is the best way to describe it. And sticking out of the headpiece of said sarcophagus, you see rings. You see a ring of bloody. They look almost like credit cards or key cards.
Right.
They're sort of arrayed like a halo or crown. It doesn't appear to have any eyes, this sarcophagus. It has an angular front piece towards its head that you guess would be its equivalent of a face. It's got 2 stocky legs and long tubular tentacle type arms that end in like wiry clusters that could be called fingers. They number in like the 15.
All right. So, is it moving right now?
It's sort of half looking away from you, and then it kind of turns, and you see its right arm slot another bloody credit card into the back of its head.
Okay. So, what I want to do is I want to grab the girl, turn on chameleon cloak, and like put us both on the bike, regardless of what she's thinking about that.
That'd only work on you, though.
Yeah, it would only work on him, but you know,
if I'm between the thing and her, then I could, mask her a little bit.
The chameleon cloak would just make her visible in that situation. Actually, I don't even think chameleon cloak would have that high a definition. It would just look like the surrounds, really. Like it wouldn't really obscure her too much. But I see what you're saying. Like you get like a plus 30, and she gets like a plus 5. Basically.
Well, I mean,
you
I
had
could
time
just
to
turn
program
solid.
it. You could make her
Exactly.
invisible by being an obfuscation, but that takes time.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm thinking more like I want to do that as quickly as possible. So, maybe it doesn't work well, but like it does something.
I understand what you're saying. So is that the order of operations? Grab girl, chameleon cloak, bike?
Yes, although I would feel like the chameleon cloak is just activate like at any point during the movement to grab girl. Like,
Yeah, so you reach over the counter and grab the scruff of her jumpsuit as your hand disappears and the rest of your body fades to the surrounds, and you just make me a free running check.
I have that. That is a physical activity.
It is, so you will be taking a penalty.
Minus 20. So I am at 35, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that is a 72. I will mox it to make it a 27 and pass.
Nice. So you sprint and jump onto your bike, and this thing turns and looks towards the girl. And she's just shouting, "Go, go, 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 go,
That
go!"
is the plan, yes.
And you make me a pilot groundcraft check to start the bike.
Well, I know how to do that.
Right. So make me a pilot groundcraft check to turn the bike on a dime in an enclosed space.
Yes. So 45 minus 20, right?
Yep,
So
because it's physical
9
activity.
out of 25.
You actually got a 9 out of 25. That's pretty fucking good. So you sort of pop half of a wheelie and the bike spins on its back wheel. And you start to accelerate away. Make me a reflex ×3 check.
I don't care which side I leave. Just
Yeah.
putting it out there.
Well, if you go forward, you have to go through the robot. It's kind of standing, like you'd
All
be
right. So
getting
I'll
away
go
from
back
it
the
and
way.
then getting past, and then getting closer to it to drive straight. So you have to turn around.
So what was it? Reflex is
Yes, ×3 because it's an aptitude.
and it's minus 20 for that too.
Yes, it is a physical activity.
So I'm at 55 because 25 times 3 is 75 minus 20 is 55. I got 26.
Did you say 26?
Yes.
Yeah. You start to accelerate, and out of the darkness, actually not out of the darkness, out of the blinding light of daylight beyond the doorway that you're about to try and drive through, steps a glowing, luminous, angular, walking sarcophagus. And it reaches out towards you. You swerve the bike around it. Make me a fray check.
All right. So that is 45 minus 20 is 25. I got a 10.
A 10. All right. Give me one moment.
Hold on. Let me burn another Moxie on that. Just make it a crit success.
All right. So you critically succeeded with a 29?
No, I critically
Sorry.
succeeded with 10.
With a 10? Sorry, I rolled a 29.
Right.
So, but you critically succeeded, but your number is lower. So you still get hit.
Crit.
You still get hit. I'm pretty sure.
But I crit, I beat it.
Yeah, I'm going to give you half damage.
Okay.
I could look it up and double check what happens in that situation. I'm going to give you half damage, though, because I don't want to drag this out. So, just let me roll my damage. 7, armor applies. Kinetic.
Armor is 8.
Yeah,
Does it
so
have any armor piercing?
it does not. You feel hear and see a silver blade scrape across your armor plate and sparks fly as you drive past and half lean off the bike as a blade just extends out of the end of this tubular arm. It's almost like the 15 wiry digits have solidified into a blade. And you ride past. In the distance, our other characters who are riding off, you guys hear nearby gunfire. Chris and
Good
Patrick.
for us.
Yeah.
No.
It sounds like
Good
it's
one.
coming from the direction of the spaceport. So you must be getting pretty close to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear the sound of you hear the buzzing sound, buzzing hum of electric motorcycle roaring up behind you at maximum speed as you see Carl and the girl riding towards you at full speed.
Yeah, I will pull up next to them.
We see that the girl is still with them. Just sort of.
Yeah, she
share a
seems to be
glance.
covered in fresh blood.
Hmm.
Well,
Would it be totally out of character for me to think that maybe she should turn off her mesh inserts?
That's if she even has mesh inserts. How would you check?
Yeah, but like that's a thing that I
Could ask her.
think. But like, would Carl think that?
I don't see. The only reason Carl would think to mention that would be the fact that you don't that the soldiers ripped your mesh implants, like your radio comms, out. So you could tell her you need to turn your mesh inserts off.
Yeah, so I'll do that.
Yeah. Children don't normally have mesh inserts, but seeing as she's got that cyberware in the back of her head, maybe she does.
Yeah,
And she's
like that.
yeah. And she says to you, "Oh, don't worry. My daddy made sure that they couldn't get at my brain."
So it's
oh,
already
great. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
you don't have mesh inserts, right? Is that what you're saying?
She nods in a way that suggests to you that saying yes is the simplest answer to your question.
Okay. It's not just that you can't send or something like that. Like you.
She probably has a similar thing to you. She has mesh inserts, but she doesn't have transmitters.
Right.
And receivers.
Right. Yeah. Good enough.
So yeah, what are you guys doing? There's gunshots, there's gunfire and explosions coming from up ahead. You've got this blood-covered girl. 3 amigos.
Is it just
I
the
feel
three
like
of
I
us
want
now? We lost all the others.
Yeah, of 200 plus, 3 remain.
I mean, some of them are probably alive somewhere else, right? Right.
No, yeah, maybe.
I mean, we took different paths.
So what are you guys doing?
I mean, all we have is the spaceport. So, spaceport?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
You guys, and this is basically the end of the scenario, you guys ride down the freeway towards the spaceport. You see, you're on this sort of a raised freeway like the kind they have in America. And you see out towards the west, you see the spaceport covered in like craters and scorch marks. You see a spaceship on fire. You see a line of soldiers just unloading their weapons, all kinds of weapons. You see plasma guns, seeker missiles, machine guns. You see a tank firing an artillery piece, and they're just unloading into a sea of what appears to be metallic tumbleweeds, as well as silver smoke, and you see a few tall, angular, walking sarcophagi, sort of with black, angular armor. It's as if a robot built a sarcophagus for itself. And they are just a wave crashing against the fragile shore that is these soldiers. And you look at the spaceport and see that there are no spaceships there that aren't on fire. And you realize that from the hot, baked concrete and destroyed manufacturing facilities that lay within the Aeropark's confines, that the spaceships that were here have all already left.
We're fucked.
All right, that desert doesn't look so bad anymore. Gotta say.
It's not like we sweat. Let's go be desert nomads, I guess.
I have yet to use my seeker rifle.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to fire into that sea for no good reason, sure, go ahead. I want to be far away from you because they can.
I think he's going to eat a nuke.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
No, me neither. Like I said, let's go be desert nomads.
Yeah, no, suicide time.
You're going to kill yourself? So the other two, start to drive off. And you guys, look back and see that Snowden isn't doing anything. And then Snowden, you just blow up your seekers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't worth it.
So you fire your seekers into the air and point the laser pointer at your feet, and then they all swarm around overhead and come back down and blow up the freeway that you're standing on. And you guys just see, he just fucking launched his missiles at himself.
I mean, that's a excellent moment to, take cover and try to not be visible.
You guys were driving off. You'd already said, yep, we're going to go. And he was just like, uh-huh, and didn't really say anything. And you, drove off, expecting him to catch up, and he didn't. He chose to blow himself up.
This is the end of the fucking world.
Yeah, well.
That's the end of that scenario. And just before we started recording it, I thought of a way I could tie this into something else if I'd written the scenario differently. But yeah, there you go. That's the horrors of the fall, experienced firsthand by people that had no lead up to it.
Okay, what the fuck is the little girl?
The little girl is, for the most part, harmless to you. And you're right to question her, but I won't explain that while we're broadcasting.
Okay.
How did you like the scenario?
It was interesting.
There was some good imagery. for like the description of going down into the Flesh Party subway station was really good.
It felt a little railroady though.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it is in fact that.
Yeah.
Well, so
It was-
pretty much at every turn, I was just going to throw a monster at you, like every single time. It's
Sure.
just the choices you make changed the monster I threw at you.
Yeah.
If you'd gone into the sewer, I would have sent different things. If you hadn't turned on the fabricator, then nothing would have happened. The only monster that you're always going to encounter is the drones at the beginning. That's the only thing that is the same.
I think maybe what could work is if we have a roll we can make or something to give us at least a basic idea of some of the things in the city.
I think what I'll do next time is I'll start the scenario with the drop ships about to take off, and have the soldiers just start shouting stuff like, "Don't turn on your mesh inserts if you don't want to lose your fucking mind," and if you see a shrub made out of metal, don't fucking go near it, run away, and just like start shouting about like hazards you're gonna run into, but you have no context for what the fuck they mean.
Yes,
I think that
would
might
work well.
be. I think that might be better. It'll set a better horror tone. Yeah.
There's
All right,
also
cool.
the fact, like, we never really, like, with the exception of my little extra adventure there was never a point where you could have shot at anything.
Yeah, like
I mean, you could have shot. You could have
the
shot
intro.
at the sandy monster thing, for example. You could have
But
tried
like-
to shoot at the drones, although I wouldn't have recommended it.
Yeah, but it always seemed like, yeah, the best bet here is to run away.
Yeah, maybe what you could have done is had us like offloaded at the front lines, because it was time like go do a service, and then we were just sort of thrown out into nowhere, and the only thing we had
Yeah.
was like there was a building to hide in until the threat passed. Like if it was we were
So I
drop
understand what
shipped.
you're saying, and you actually were at the front lines, but again, the choices you made meant that you kept walking away from it. If they'd had, yeah, I think next time I won't have the dropship get destroyed. I think I will have them say stuff more.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, basically, if different choices had been made, it would have been revealed that you were meant to be heading towards the residential block that I first described, the larger one. For example, if you'd gone, we're going to search for survivors in the street to see if anyone survived, you could have found a remaining soldier, because they were intending to move out with you, not all die.
There's also,
Yeah,
like,
I think
we've been surrounded.
changed.
We could have fought our way out and felt like felt like big damn heroes, and then just, oh wait, it's everywhere and it's not helping.
I think I maybe could have thrown like some robotic tiger wolf thingies at you. That might have been better than a drone.
Yeah, a lot of the threats we faced were like clearly outclassed us in a way that made it feel like running was the only option. Like we didn't have hardware to deal with the flying drones. We didn't have the technical
the
expertise
Seeker missile
to
would
deal
have
with the
run on
nano. And that kind of thing. And like there's an entire subway station that is a Shoggoth and that kind of thing. I was like, well,
Yeah. All right, I think I'll
that's-
change some of the monsters I throw next time I run
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I mean,
good idea.
honestly, like, if it was only
Did
one
you
fight that we could actually
enjoy it?
fight. Yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed parts of it, yeah.
All right. Well, that's that's the important thing. As long as you didn't feel like you wasted your evening.
I mean, all evenings are wasted so long as time exists.
the march of time. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
but I had fun.
We'll tie it off there. Go check out Role Playing Exchange and go check out more of our Insert Quest Here stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed listening, if you did. And farewell from the past. I'm Raymond.